Hello, my name is Eli Villegas, and I'm gonna be talking about the domestic violence. To be more specific, I'm gonna be talking about the impact of the New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence and how it plays a crucial role in addressing and in mitigating the effects of domestic violence and here in the state. This organization has been instrumental in providing support resources and advocacy of victims of domestic violence, while also working to prevent such violence through education and policy change. Okay, this is a briefly overview of the New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence. It's a leading organization dedicated to addressing and preventing domestic violence here in New Mexico. Established to support victims in New Mexico, established to support victims in advocacy for policy change, and this organization works tirelessly to create a safer space to the community. One of the primary impacts of the New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence is to give comprehensive support services for victims. The coalition provides access to shelters, legal assistance, counseling, and emergency services. These resources are vital for individuals escaping from an abuser situation, offering them a safe space, and giving them the necessary tools to rebuild their lives. By facilitating these services, the New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence not only addresses the immediate needs for victims, but also contributes to long-term recovery and empowerment. One of the missions and goals for this organization is to create a coordinated community response to domestic violence through advocacy, education, and support services. Their goals include providing resources for victims, promoting and empowering survivors. In addition to direct support, the New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence places a strong emphasis on education and prevention. The coalition conducts various training programs and workshops aimed at raising awareness about domestic violence, its signs, and its consequences. These educational efforts target a wide audience, including law enforcement, healthcare providers, educators, and general public. By fostering a deeper understanding of domestic violence, the New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence helps to create a community that is vigilant and proactive in preventing abuse. Okay. Okay. Another significant impact of the New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence is the advocacy for policy change. The coalition works closely with lawmakers and other stakeholders to develop and implement policy to protect victims and hold abuses accountable. This includes advocating for stronger protective orders, improved and legal procedures, and better funding for domestic violence programs. Through these efforts, the New Mexico Coalition Against Violence ensures the legal and social frameworks in New Mexico are more supportive for victims and more effective in addressing domestic violence. Okay. This is a chart that I have from 2020 and how domestic violence homicide victims and the deaths and how it happens more often than like we wouldn't that it's sad like how often it happens and how it keeps happening here in New Mexico. But like I was saying, furthermore, the New Mexico Organization about Domestic Violence collaborates with various organizations and agencies to create and coordinate response to domestic violence. This collaboration engages in the effectiveness of imitators and ensures that victims receive comprehensive support. By working together, these entities can share resources and best practices, leading to more effective solutions for domestic violence. Again. The impact of the New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence extends beyond individual victims to a broader community by addressing domestic violence. The coalition helps to reduce its associated social and economic costs. The domestic violence has far-reaching consequences, including healthcare costs, lost productivity, and in transmission for violence. By mitigating these effects, the New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence contributes to overall well-being and safety for the community. And I don't know if you knew, but October is the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So that's why I chose this topic, especially because we're in the month of it, and it's always good. No, not only women, but also men that goes through domestic violence, like, to know this information and always, like, feel safe to know there's always a safe space to reach out for it. In conclusion, sorry, before I go to conclusion, okay. In conclusion, the New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence has a profound impact of the state by providing essential support services, by promoting education and prevention, advocating for policy change, and forcing collaboration among various stakeholders. Through these efforts, the New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence not only helps victims of domestic violence but also works towards creating a safer space and supported community for all. The coalition's work is a testament and empowerment of a coordinated, comprehensive and approach in addressing complex and social issues like domestic violence. So with all this said, if you ever go to the same situation and you feel like reaching out to somebody, the New Mexico Coalition Against Domestic Violence is always a place to go to and then reach us for, especially since it's here in New Mexico. And yeah, that's my presentation.